NBA 2K16 is always in everyone's top 5 favorite 2Ks, and some even consider it the greatest. Whereas NBA 2K26 is brand new and definitely doesn't have the same reputation as NBA 2K16. So today I decided to compare NBA 2K26 to the legendary NBA 2K16 and find out which game is better. Starting off with the most important aspect of the game, we have the shooting. In NBA 2K16, shooting was a lot more forgiving, allowing you to make jump shots even if you didn't time the shot correctly. And your stamina really didn't play a factor at all in whether or not you made the shot. But in NBA 2K26, the shooting system is green or miss, which to some players may feel more harsh and unforgiving. But I think majority of the 2K community would agree that 2K26's shooting system is better than 2K16's because it creates a higher skill gap. So I'm going to give this point to 2K26. Next we have the dribbling. I'm personally not the greatest dribbler, so I'm going to find a Dribble God mixtape from each game and compare the two. So here we have a clip from a dude named Guapo, and he's playing on Sunset Beach, and it looks pretty good. Dribble moves pretty good. He's saucing him up, the dude in the red. He's doing a lot of dribbling. You could tell he has absolutely no X button. And then he does a spin move to the paint and does an easy dunk. So honestly, a clean clip right there. Let's look at this one. But one thing that you'll notice about these clips is that his stamina bar is not going down at all. Like, look at that shot. He was just able to make that because his stamina bar is not going down at all. 2K really didn't have a stamina feature until 2K18-19. So in these games, you were able to dribble for as long as you wanted to. So imagine having to be a defender guarding somebody for a full 24 seconds and they're not losing energy. They can dribble as much as they want and it's not going to affect their shot going in. So I can see why they definitely added the energy feature, but sometimes you could tell that it's kind of unrealistic. Like, your guy will run out of energy a little bit too fast, so you can definitely tell that 2K16's dribbling was a little bit more arcadey compared to 2K26. Alright, so here's a 2K26 mixtape from my dog Jack Hapalot, and the first thing that you're going to notice is how much faster the stamina bar goes down, which results in him needing to make sure that he gets his shot off a lot quicker. I think this causes a bigger skill gap in the dribbling. Let me know which 2K's dribbling you like more, but I'm going to go with 2K26. Next we have the My Player Builder. The My Player Builder in 2K16 was super basic. After you chose your player's position, you would have the choice of either an inside, outside, or balanced playstyle, which was simple and straight to the point. And then when it came to upgrading, most players would just max out every attribute in each category they could, and then just leave like 1 or 2 attribute slots empty. Whereas in NBA 2K26, the My Player Builder is way more complicated. While the builder in 2K26 gives you a lot more freedom, it also causes you to make more mistakes, forcing you to spend more money on new builds if you mess up your attributes. While 2K26's My Player Builder might be more simple and boring, your My Player is actually held up throughout the year, so you only really need to make 1 or 2 builds max. In 2K26, you blindly just create your build however you want on day 1 without seeing how the game feels, which usually just causes you to make mistakes on your build. While the top percentage of players may be able to create a good build first try, the average player is definitely going to mess up their first build and be pressured to spend more money to fix it. For the My Player Builder category, I'm going to give the edge to 2K16. I honestly think 2K26's build system is a scam set up to exploit uninformed and new players. Next, we're going to compare the My Careers. In NBA 2K16's Living the Dream storyline, you play as Freak, a high school basketball star, and you work your way up to the NBA. The storyline was a masterpiece and really went in depth of the life of an up-and-coming basketball star. From your best friend betraying you by hitting on your girlfriend when you weren't around, to getting kicked off the team for staying loyal to that very same friend, it's a true masterpiece and by far the best storyline in 2K history. In NBA 2K26's storyline, you start out as a kid from Vermont who's also a high school basketball player just like Freak from NBA 2K16. But instead of starting out as a star like Freak, in this storyline you start out unranked and you work your way up the rankings. Instead of taking the traditional route to the NBA, you take a pit stop to play overseas in Europe. How you perform in Europe determines your draft stock, and ultimately you get drafted and start your NBA career. In my opinion, 2K16's storyline definitely blows 2K26's out of the water, even though it was made 10 years ago. Don't get me wrong though, 2K26's storyline isn't terrible, and I think they took inspiration from 2K16, but it just didn't hit the same. Next we have the cities/parks. In 2K16 we had 3 separate My Parks: Sunset Beach, Rivet City, and Flyers. first. While in NBA 2K26, we have a medium-sized city, and it's mostly just filled with stores. And the My Park in 2K26 is located in an actual park, and it's a pretty nice park. This is a tough one because while I did like the parks in 2K16, I think without being biased, 2K26's parks in city are better, especially because the park in 2K26 is rumored to change every 6 weeks. So I think we're going to get more bang for our buck in 2K26, so I'm going to give the edge to 2K26. But I would say 2K16's parks are close behind. Speaking on bang for your buck, let's talk about the VC prices from each game. Back in 2K16, to reach 99 overall, it would cost you at most 250,000 VC, whereas in NBA 2K26, it costs at least 350,000 VC to reach 99 overall, and that's being on the conservative side. Not to mention that clothes in 2K16 were way cheaper than in 2K26. You can easily spend 25,000 VC on just one shirt alone in 2K26. So 2K16 is going to win the category by far for VC prices. VC inflation over the years has been ridiculous. Next, we have the overall community aspect. Back in 2K16 was the birth of some of the biggest creators we all know and love today. Some of our favorite creators started out during that time and practically became worldwide celebrities. And now in 2K26, it feels like the 2K community is more spread out. Don't get me wrong, there's still tons of great creators and people making great videos, but the actual community aspect is nowhere near the same as in 2K16. So for the community aspect, 2K16 wins this category by far. So if we're keeping score, so far 2K16 is leading in more categories with a better My Player Builder, a better My Career storyline, better VC prices, and a better community. But you can also make the argument that 2K26 is better because it's leading in the more important categories like dribbling, shooting, and the My Park / City. I'm having a hard time choosing which game I truly feel is better. On one hand, I want to say 2K16 is better because of the reputation and the special place it holds in my heart. But on the other hand, 2K26 does feel like a more polished and balanced game. I feel like if you're in a position where money doesn't matter to you and you can create as many builds as you want, I think you would say 2K26 is a better game because there's more content. But I think if you're a person where you're a little more frugal and you don't want to spend as much on builds and VC, or want to play a game that's more arcade-like just for fun, you'd say 2K16 is better. This kind of reminds me of the Jordan and LeBron debate, with 2K26 being LeBron, a new game in an advanced era that old heads will never respect no matter what, and 2K16 is like Jordan, known for being the undisputed GOATs and their fans aren't ready to give up the title of the greatest of all time. We'll never truly reach the answer on which 2K is the best because everyone has their own bias and nostalgia, and on top of that, they were both in different eras. I'm not going to give my opinion in this video on which I think is better. My job was simply just to lay out the facts about each game, and now it's time for you guys to let me know which game you think is better. But nonetheless, I do think 2K deserves a lot of credit for this being an actual conversation. 2K this year has been the best it's been in a long time, so we got to give 2K a round of applause. I do think the conversation about which game is better is a lot closer than people realize, so I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Also, you guys, I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so if you like this video and want to see more videos just like this, it would mean the world to me if you like this video and subscribe. I'm really interested to see which game you guys think is better, so make sure you leave a comment, and remember, it's just a basketball game. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, have a great rest of your day.